This is Scott from The Groomsman, and welcome to this wonderful New Year's Eve shave. So, what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be doing a throwback shave. And what I mean by throwback is I'm going to be using equipment that I first used when I first started. And I continued to use for about 4 years. So, I'm going to be using my Merkur 23C. I know it's got needs a little polishing. Here we go. So that still mirror finish. I've had this since my daughter was born back in 2015. So this razor is like 7 years old, and as you can see, it still has the mirror finish on it. I'm going to be using a derby blade. Used derby blades exclusively for years. I didn't start using other razors or anything until I started collecting, which wasn't until August of 2020. So pretty much the pandemic spurred me on into collecting, and now I'm mostly a vintage shaver, but I do, have a Rex Ambassador, a Rex Council, Edwin Jagger 316, and the Leaf, the Twig. I don't know. There's a few others around too with the modern razors, and even this one, and by consideration, is still a modern razor. So this is what I'm going to be using today. You can see I have a number of days growth. I'm going to be using my Best Badger brush from Razor Emporium, and along with the original Irish Moose. This is no longer made. There is a couple of dupes out there, but this is the original. And it does have amazing scent. I really like this soap, and as you can see, I have a lot left. I've only scooped it a number of times, but I just got out of the shower and I don't want to ruin it. So let's go ahead and get on with the shave, all right? So, how's everyone been doing? I guess I am the king of controversy given my last few shaves here, so I'm gonna go ahead and get some of this scooped up into my bowl here. One of the things I like to do for scooping, if you don't, you can either use your thumb or use a stick, or use the corner of the thing. Just kind of, don't spin it like that, but you just kind of hold it and kind of scratch off some soap, like that. You can see, and then you just dump it in your bowl. And you can see I got it in my bowl like that. It's more than enough. We'll just go ahead and get into it. All right. So go ahead and get this all wetted up. Get the lather built up. I'm gonna go ahead and put my pre-shave on. So wet my face up. I'm using the 3-shave bar from Razor Emporium again. That's something I never used to use, to be honest. It wasn't until recent times I started using it. So, I'm just trying to give my face the best advantage I can for anything I'm going to be using. Of course, I get my wife one of these, to use on her legs, and what she do? Just shaves with it, And she's like, "Oh, it was slick enough. I didn't even have to whip up any soap or anything." So when you got a good white soapiness going like that, you've got a good base layer for the pre-soap. So what that's going to do is increase your slickness and hold any water that you already got on your face into your face. Right. Go ahead and get the soap lathered up here. Put some soap in there with water. Brush here. You have lots of growth. You gotta make a heck of a lather if you want to cover it up. Well, let's give this Derby some go here. Or the Derby with the Mercury 23C. You know, one thing you got to be sure is to make sure if you're using a double edge, use both sides of it. It's called a double edge razor for a reason. And the thing about it is, this 23C, you can see all the growth I have. I'm using a Derby blade, so not even like what a lot of people would consider as like this premium blade. And I'm getting no drag at all. It's going through all this heavy growth like nothing. All right. Yes, this is with the grain. People often ask, what's a starting razor that you recommend? And I hate to say it, but 23C is one I always recommend to people because it is a great, fantastic shaver. It's got decent weight. I think it comes at like 73 or 74 grams. I've weighed it before, something like that. It's mild because one of the biggest things that turns people off on double edge is they start with something that's so aggressive or has a lot of blade feel and it turns people off like immediately. And the thing is you want people to come into this thing and have a comfortable shave off the get-go, and people go, wow, that was a pretty good shave. And with doing that, you want them to get a comfortable shave, yet a close shave, and something that seemed easy to do, right? And 23C has been able to achieve that for lots of folks. I have converted about 6 or 7 of my personal friends and family, and the 23C is the razor that I have given them to convert with. And it has worked wonders, right? One of my co-workers where I work, I had picked up an extra 23C for like $1.50 off Mercari or something like that. I don't remember. Either way, I got it for like stupid cheap. And a red tip really cheap at a antique store locally, and I gave him both, and he goes, wow, I really like them. And and I said, well, you can keep them both. He really likes the Mercury 23C. He goes, it was like the money. First time he used it, no cuts, nothing along those lines. And has been wet shaving with it since. I gave him some blades. I got a number of blades. Probably a couple thousand blades, to be honest. And stuff. So, as the year closes, just kind of look back and reflect on everything, right? And it's been a good year in some instances and a crap year in others. I've lost, between my wife and I, we've lost, I don't know, I think 5 family members. 4 or 5 family members. I lost 3 close friends. And no, as far as I know, none of them were related to COVID. They were cancer or something like that, right? Heart attack, cancer. Cancer got 3 of them, 4 of them. 1 was old age. But 2020 has been a crap year in that regard, but it's been a decent year in regard to like personal life. And then, this time of year it's Christmas and all Thanksgiving and all that. But it's also when I met my wife. I first started dating her in December of 2011, and we didn't become official till January or something like that. So we're coming up on our 11 years together. I've known her for 26. Known her for 26 years. Been together for 11 now. Been married for 5 of those 11. And it's just, because our wedding anniversary and everything's coming up too. So it's just, our life has been through some roller coasters, it's just things that have happened and whatnot through whatever. We've moved 7 times. I've had like 4 different jobs throughout this time, stuff like that. And now I'm at a point where I've been at the same job for coming up on 10 years. And, you know, 10 years at the same job. We have a kid. We have, bought multiple cars. It's just, things have changed. We've been on tons of vacations. That's one of the things we love to do is to travel. Puerto Rico, Vegas, New York, Philly, Jersey, Florida, a cruise to the Bahamas and all that stuff. So it's been a long time, done a lot of stuff, and then you look back at stuff, and I guess so far the ride's been worth the journey. As far as just everything in our life, because we have a few years ago I started doing some independent contract work, and independent contract work has picked up a ton, and recent years and stuff have just been going gangbusters for us. I can't complain. I lived my life by a motto of no matter how bad it is or it gets, life will always work its way out, right? I've been through some stuff, man. Been to the point where we were almost homeless. Only 5 years ago. My wife, kid, and I were almost homeless just 5 years ago. It's hard to think of that, especially given where we're at now. Just before the pandemic hit, we went and bought our first car, brand spanking new off the lot, which we just paid that car off within 3 years, so not too shabby, right? About to get another one here in the next year. Oh, I just caught myself. Crap sticks. Maybe not. Maybe not. Alright, well. I only do 2 passes. I'm a 2-pass shaver. Those of you who watch know it. But all I could say is going into 2023, and this year's looking even better. This year's looking great. Outcomes and things are good. Our daughter's doing great in school. Loves soccer and dance and all that cool stuff and whatnot. And my wife and I are, we're going to be celebrating our 5th wedding anniversary here in like a week. And, there's nothing better than just always having a positive outlook. I know, trust me, I've been to the point where me and my wife and my kid were almost homeless, right? So I was up it without a paddle, so to speak, right? And stuff happened. I did what I had to do to get out of debt, and as what I mean by that is I worked a ridiculous amount of hours. I traveled around the United States and whatnot, and stuff like that, and it worked out. It's one of those, like I said, no matter how bad it gets, life will always work its way out. Those are words of wisdom that I learned back in like 08. And ever since then, it's been the truth. So, I always try to treat people with respect. I try to be nice. I try to, do what I can to help people when I can. But you do got to remember that, you have to mind your P's and Q's when it comes to, if you're in a financial thing, making necessary purchases when you can and not making unnecessary ones when you don't need to. Watching your money, watching things, and you can only help as much as you can help. Never feel guilty for not helping if you can, all right? That's one of the biggest things. I feel like some people, they try to help others so much, or try to give so much to others, or try to give some sort of um, impression of something they're not, or something along those lines, right? And you have to make sure that you're secure in your situation first before that you can help others, you know? Because what good does it do you to put yourself out as being homeless because you helped someone else too much, right? I'm not saying don't help. That's not what I'm saying. But, you know, the helping that you can do for someone, maybe it isn't financial, you know? Maybe it's like the retired school teacher that lives next to me, right? I don't go over there and give her money. I don't go over there, but, you know, Snowmageddon or whatever they were calling it last weekend, we got hit with like a foot of snow. And I went over and snowblowed her driveway. You know, I didn't charge her nothing. I didn't ask for money. I didn't, whatever. You just go snowblow her driveway. I do it without asking. I just go do it. She never, all I ever get is I got a Merry Christmas because it was Saturday when we got smoked, or Sunday when I went over there because we got smoked Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday morning again here in Michigan. We got about a foot, which, whatever. I'm from northern Michigan. A foot isn't anything. So, but, you know, went over there and snowblowed her driveway for her, cleaned off her car so she could go to the pharmacy. I didn't know she had to go to the pharmacy. She told me after the fact, but I just do it out of the goodness of my heart. I don't ask for money. I don't anything, you know. I help with weed whacking her yard. I cut trees down in her yard for her and that stuff like that, you know. But that stuff I'm able to do, and it doesn't cost me anything financially to help support someone, right? Do I give money and food and stuff to some people when I need to? Yeah, of course I do. But, you know, you got to make sure that your situation's secure first before you go ahead and do that stuff. Anyway, enough with that. How was the razor? Great shave. I love it. My wife got this for me. This is the original 23C that my wife bought me. This is my first DE razor. I've had this for 7 years now. 7.5. My daughter's almost 7.5. My wife bought this for me as a gift for when she was born, because I'm one of the people who, things have changed. But I used to be one of those people, if I saw something and it's like, man, I want to try that. But this thing's $30 to buy, right? $35. It's a lot of money up front. I get it. 100% get it. But by the time I was paying for a cartridge razor and the cartridges, I was spending, you know, 15, 20 bucks here and there. But I'm not one to be like, oh, I don't like to buy into gimmicks. So I'm not going to buy something for $30 and it be a gimmick and not work, right? Well, yeah. What did I know? It does work. Works fantastic. I bought that. She got me this and a sampling pack of blades from Amazon. I found the green derbies in there were my favorite, so I used those. I got a 200 of those for, you know, $10 a 100 pack or $8 a 100 pack, whatever it was. And I used those exclusively up to August 2020. I used this and Barbasol with those razor blades. And so $40, $50 with some Barbasol thrown in there. I shaved for 5 years, okay? You don't have to be an enthusiast that goes out and buys a million razors, has a million different blade combinations, has, you know, 15 different brushes and 30 different soaps, right? I don't have 30 different soaps by choice, just saying. I have a lot of friends that have given me soaps. Like this set right here, this is the Kaizen set from A&E I used, I think, last time. That was given to me. The light blue set and Splash was given to me by the groomsmen. You know, here's that by Master Soap Creations. It's a copy of Dolce Gabbana's light blue, which I love. But anyway, I hope that everyone going into the new year is looking forward to the new year. I know I certainly am. There's some big changes for me with my life on the horizon, with things in personal life, so I'm looking forward to those. Me and the wife are. And, you know, we're just moving forward with life. It is what it is. It will always get better, regardless of how bad it gets. You have to remember that. It will work itself out and get better. It always does. You know, I was almost homeless with my family 5 years ago. And life's changed in a much better situation. So thank you, everyone, for joining me. I know I talked a lot about stuff, but it is the new year. There's new stuff. Set goals. Don't set Mount Everest. Don't set a goal that seems so far-fetched that it's unachievable, because that does nothing but make you feel even worse about not getting that goal accomplished, right? You know, everyone's, for the most part, they say in the top five is always lose weight, right? Yeah, well, I'm with you. I could lose some weight. You know, I'm no skinny guy. But, you know, 10, 15 pound increments, that's a goal. Do that. Because when you achieve it, it's a lot easier to do, and it feels a lot better than saying, I'm going to lose 60 pounds this year. I'm going to do it. Well, yeah, sure, some will do it. I agree 100%. But do achievable goals. Don't set Mount Everest. I don't. And it does nothing but disappoint you when you don't. So, thank you, everybody. Happy New Year. Stay classy. And if you haven't, subscribe. I have, by the way, 600 subscriber giveaway. Got you covered. Have a good day. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Stay classy.